Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into ranked so we can kind of play against some better opponents. I'm 12 right now, which qualifies me for the BlizzCon qualifier thingy, but it's only like 10 days in the season, so even if I lose and I drop to rank 20 something, it's not that big of a deal. Hopefully we'll get it back before the end of the month. But yeah, the Unleash the Hounds nerf just happened. The patch happened a couple days ago, or yesterday maybe. But yeah, the card costs 3 mana now, and that's really good for Zoo because Unleash the Hounds is basically one of the things keeping it from being just the best deck and just keeping it down to a good deck for a while. Just because Unleash the Hounds was so good, but there's a lot fewer people playing Hunter now, so you get a beat up on control decks a good amount of the time. Not always, but we'll see. Alright, so I'm going second. Normally I don't keep any cards that cost more than 1 mana, honestly. We are playing against a warrior. You always want to pay attention to what class your opponent is when you decide what cards to keep, what cards to put back. I'm just going to go ahead and drop everything here, I think. Knife Juggler, even if it manages to live, it's not going to kill anything, so the ability isn't that big of a deal. And yeah, these cards don't cost 1. I really want a Shield Bearer in order to protect my creatures from Fiery War Axe. Young Priestess plus another 1-drop would be really good as well. This is actually pretty insane. I haven't had a hand without a 1-drop in a really long time, especially considering I put back 4 cards and then drew 4 more, 5 more with no 1-drop. Oh well. I do feel like I have to play something turn 1, so I'm going to play a Monty Berserker. It's better to play a Monty Berserker before this guy because this will have an immediate effect. I'm pretty sure whatever I play gets axed, but it's still better to play this first because Direwolf basically gets that extra point in when you play it later, so best to drop this guy before that. Alright, so it looks like he doesn't have Fiery War Axe, which is really good for us because that's basically Warrior's best card against you when you don't draw Shield Bearer. Just going to play Direwolf. I could Life Tap, which some people would do in a control matchup because you really just want to draw a million cards, but like 99% of the time, if you have the option between playing a creature or life tapping, you want to just play the creature. 99% of the time. Sounds like a really good rule of thumb. Here I could Soulfire that, Shattered Sun Cleric and all that, but I think what I would rather do is just hold on to that Soulfire and buff Amani Berserker. Now one thing you really, really have to get into the habit of is you can see how I deliberately put Shattered Sun on the right. Like, like right here it's pretty obvious, but a lot of people just automatically put stuff on the left or something all the time. I'll kind of show you more how Direwolf matters later on in the game. Positioning for Defender and Direwolf is like super important, and that's really the point I want to hammer home more than anything else. Hopefully he doesn't have Big Game Hunter because it's randomly useful here. Alright, so he's going to kill Direwolf, I think? No, he's going to kill that guy. Interesting. Okay. That's actually really interesting. Why did he do that? Okay. So I really want to play, I have the choice of playing either 4-drop. I have the choice of playing a 3 plus a 1 and soul firing, of course, on top of that if I want to, or I could trade. So basically, you always want to kill your opponent's stuff, right? You never want to let it stick on the board. So I'm definitely killing it. The question is, do I want to do it with a soul fire, or do I want to do it with other stuff? I think I'm going to go ahead and play Defender of Argus here because the advantage of that is it'll get my creatures up to 3 health. So this weapon that he has in play on board won't be enough to deal with anything. It doesn't matter if I Defender first or after because either way Shattered Sun's going to have exactly 4 attack. So I'm just going to go ahead and Defender here and I'm going to Soulfire. If I was going to trade, I wouldn't Defender obviously because I would only be buffing one creature. In that case it's better to play Dark Iron Dwarf. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Hopefully I don't pitch the 4-drop. Okay, I didn't. And yeah, I'm just going to hit him with both. Pass back. And he's not very much life very quickly because, yeah, he just didn't have War Axe on turn 2, which was basically the game at that point. Really tough to deal with a Monty Berserker with a Warrior deck if you're not War Axing it on turn 2. Now, you always want to keep Brawl in mind. A lot of times against Warrior, you'll just get into this habit of dumping all your stuff on the table like you always do, but this is like the one class you want to hold back against a lot of the time. Now, so he's playing Warsong Commander and Weaponsmith. I think he's playing Aggro Warrior, actually, which is pretty rare. You usually see more Control Warrior on ladder. I'm actually pretty surprised about this, but oh well. So he's pretty low. I'm just going to do always do a quick, like when your opponent's below 20, just to ask yourself if you have lethal with any deck. It's a really good rule of thumb. I don't have lethal. I have 6 plus 2, so 8. I have to kill. Basically, since I can't kill him, I think I have to kill the creature. You pretty much always want to kill the creature. This is the kind of card that if you let it live for a turn, your entire board state can just disappear. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play Direwolf here, because it gets this guy to 3 power, lets me kill it without missing any damage, as opposed to, you know, killing it with my 4 power Shattered Sun Cleric. And I'm going to go ahead and play Harvest Golem here, and I'm going to put it on the left. Now, keep in mind that Direwolf Alpha, this is the positioning thing really mattering. Like, this game's kind of a stomp. It's not a big deal, but basically, since this 3-1 is most likely to die to a card like Whirlwind or Cruel Taskmaster, something like that, I want there to be a creature to the left of it to immediately get that Direwolf buff once the defender dies. So that's why I'm putting on the left instead of the right, or like next to it or anything like that. Alright, yeah, kind of a weird deck to play against. I haven't played against Aggro Warrior in a couple days, but it's really rare. You know, it's the kind of deck you see like once a week. But yeah, hopefully next game we'll have a few more decisions for us.